Most romance anime can flirt for 12 episodes, act mysterious for 3 years, and then just vanish like your favourite text thread at 2 AM. But the shows on this list? They actually land the plane. No awkward cliffhanger energy, no read the manga betrayal, just a proper ending that makes you sit there like, yeah, that was worth it. Today we are counting down 10 completed romance anime with a satisfying ending. Starting at number 10, Violet Evergarden. This anime feels illegal to watch in 1080p. Kyoto Animation really animated tears with more budget than most countries have healthcare plans. The story follows Violet, this former child soldier trying to understand human emotions after war completely wrecked her life. And the romance side of this story? Bro. It's less cute high school crush and more healing emotional scars one letter at a time. There's an episode involving a mother writing letters that absolutely folded me. Like, I was not prepared. I clicked play to relax and left emotionally unemployed. Now, yeah, people are super divided on the movie ending. Some people love it, some people think it changes the themes too much. Me personally, I still think the emotional payoff lands insanely hard. The final stretch had that your chest physically hurts energy. And even with all the debate, it still gives viewers something romance anime rarely delivers. Closure. At number 9, ReLIFE. This one hit different because it understands what being lost in your 20s feels like. Like, painfully well. Arata gets a chance to redo part of his life by physically becoming a high schooler again. And somehow, this goofy sci-fi setup turns into one of the most relatable romance stories ever made. The chemistry between him and Hishiro is so awkward and adorable that you start rooting for them immediately. And Hishiro herself? Elite character. Socially awkward anime girls are usually written like walking memes, but she actually feels human. Also, this show has one of my favourite small moments in romance anime. There's this gradual shift where two broken people slowly start becoming comfortable around each other without dramatic speeches or forced drama. It feels earned. The ending OVs are rushed compared to the manga, yeah, but the emotional payoff still slaps. Like, that final reunion? Oh, cinema. Also, quick question. What romance anime ending destroyed you emotionally? Drop it in the comments, because apparently, I enjoy suffering now. At number 8, Horimiya. Horimiya is what happens when a romance anime skips the exhausting will they won't they nonsense and just lets people date. Revolutionary concept, apparently. Hori and Miyamura feel like actual teenagers, instead of overly generic romance archetypes. Their conversations feel natural, their chemistry is immediate, and the relationship develops early. Thank you. Thank you. I'm tired of romance anime where two characters blush at each other for 48 episodes and call it plot progression. And Miyamura's transformation throughout the series? Elite. Dude went from local sleep-deprived cryptid to one of the coolest romance MCs out there. One thing I loved about Horimiya is how calm it feels. There's drama, sure, but it never turns into one of those chaotic love polygons where everybody suddenly forgets how communication works. It's just soft, warm, comfort anime with actual payoff. Also, Hori is terrifying in the funniest way possible. That girl needs therapy and a WWE contract. At number 7, Tsuki ga Kirei. Okay, this anime feels so real it's almost uncomfortable. No over-the-top anime screaming, no accidental boob grabs every 6 minutes, no fireworks confession with orchestral music exploding in the background. Just two awkward middle schoolers trying their best. And somehow that makes it more emotional than 90% of romance anime. The texting scenes in this show are incredible because they capture that specific anxiety of waiting for someone to reply. You know that feeling where you send a message and suddenly become a hostage to your own phone notifications? Yeah, this anime weaponizes that feeling. I watched this late at night during winter and the vibe was immaculate. It has this quiet atmosphere that sneaks up on you emotionally. And the ending? Bro. One of the most satisfying endings in romance anime history. Like when the credits started rolling, I literally smiled at my screen like an idiot. At number 6, Saekano. Saekano is dangerous because it tricks you into thinking it's just another harem anime. Then suddenly, you're emotionally invested. The setup is pure chaos. Game development, otaku humor, fan service, multiple girls competing for the MC, but underneath all that is a surprisingly mature romance story about inspiration, ambition, and figuring out who actually understands you. Megumi Kato is one of my favourite romance heroines because she wins people over slowly. At first, she feels super low energy, almost invisible, and then eventually you realise, Oh wait, she's actually the best person here. And the movie ending? Massive W. No coward ending, no every girl wins nonsense. The story picks a direction and commits to it. Respect immediately earned. Also, the post-time skip scenes inject that directly into my bloodstream. At number 5, Your Name. Your Name is basically what happens if fate itself became a romance anime director. This movie is beautiful in a way that almost feels unfair. Every frame looks like somebody painted it with bottled emotions. The body swapping setup is fun at first, but then the movie slowly evolves into something way bigger and more emotional than you expect. There's this specific sequence midway through the film where the tone suddenly shifts and you realize, oh, we're suffering now. Makoto Shinkai loves emotionally torturing people in visually stunning environments. And that final scene? Nah man, that's legendary. You already know the scene too. The tension, the music, the hesitation. I remember watching it for the first time with my friend and both of us were dead silent afterward. No jokes, no talking, just staring at the TV like our souls had been factory reset. At number 4, Kaguya-sama, Love is War. This anime is proof that psychological warfare and romance are basically the same thing. Kaguya-sama starts as this chaotic battle of pride where two geniuses refuse to confess their feelings first. But over time it becomes weirdly emotional and layered. Like, yeah, it's hilarious. The narrator alone deserves an Oscar. But beneath all the comedy is this super relatable fear of vulnerability. The characters are terrified of rejection, terrified of losing control, terrified of not being enough. And that's what makes the romance hit. Also, Ishigami, my goat, my depressed king. The movie finale delivers one of the best romantic payoffs I've seen in anime, because it feels like the characters actually earned it after all the emotional walls they built. Plus, this show has some of the funniest reaction faces in anime history. Meme economy absolutely thriving. If you're still watching, by the way, hit the like button so the algorithm stops recommending me top 10 saddest anime deaths at 3 AM. Appreciate you. At number 3, Toradora. Toradora is a classic for a reason. This show understands one thing better than almost any romance anime. People are messy. Taiga and Ryuji are both disasters in completely opposite ways, and watching them slowly become each other's safe place is so satisfying. Now yeah, Taiga can be violent as hell early on. Peak tsundere era energy. She was out here committing aggravated assault every episode. But over time, the emotional layers start peeling back, and suddenly the characters feel painfully real. One scene that always gets me is when the show stops being funny for a minute and lets the loneliness sink in. You realise these characters aren't just crushing on people, they're desperately trying to be understood. And that final stretch? Pure emotional chaos. Toradora has one of those endings where you immediately want to rewatch the whole series, because everything hits differently afterward. At number 2, Clannad, After Story. Alright, this one is dangerous. Clannad starts like a normal romance anime. Then, After Story shows up and emotionally roundhouse kicks you into another dimension. This is not just a romance anime, it's a life anime. It tackles adulthood, responsibility, family, grief, purpose, all the stuff most romance anime avoid because it's easier to just end at graduation. And that's why this series hits so hard. There are episodes in After Story that I think every anime fan should experience at least once. Not because they're sad, but because they feel painfully human. I still remember watching one specific episode late at night and just sitting there afterward in complete silence. Like, no phone, no distractions, just emotional damage. The art style might look a little dated now, sure, but emotionally, this series is timeless. And the ending leaves you with this overwhelming feeling that life can hurt like hell sometimes, but still be worth continuing. That's powerful. And finally, number 1, Fruits Basket 2019. This is the complete package. Romance, character growth, trauma healing, family drama, emotional catharsis, everything. What makes Fruits Basket special is that the romance isn't just there to make people ship characters. It's deeply connected to healing and self-worth. Every character in this show is carrying some kind of emotional wound, and watching them slowly learn how to love and accept themselves feels incredibly rewarding. Toru might seem overly sweet at first, but as the series goes on, you realise she's also deeply broken in her own way. That depth completely changed how I viewed her character. And Kyo? Top tier romance MC, no debate. The slow progression between them is handled perfectly. Nothing feels rushed, nothing feels forced, and when the emotional payoff finally arrives, Man. This anime doesn't just give you an ending, it gives you peace. And that final future glimpse? Yeah, that's how you end a romance story. So yeah, these are 10 romance anime that actually respect your emotional investment and give you a real ending instead of spiritually mugging you for manga sales. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Top 10 Guy, because next up, you need to watch my video, 10 anime with unforgettable first episodes. Some of those pilots are so good, they should be classified as dangerous. I'll see you there.